All right, so have you seen the stuff about Laura Sanko? Basically, Jamie Varner. When's the last time you heard of Jamie Varner? WC days and
I'm obviously familiar with him.
yeah, old school days. Oh, here we go.
So this is Jamie Varner's post about Laura Sanko. He put, at Laura Sanko, sucks so bad at commentating. She tries hard and speaks about things she knows nothing about. Oof, this guy's off.
I know, dude.
Talking about blast doubles and now tiring it could be in the first round of the fight. Like, what do you know about any of those things? Stay in your lane, try hard.
And
with a clown emoji. When someone puts a clown emoji, you know they're just out of creativity. Laura Sanko is ruining the fights by talking so much. Leave the commentator to the people that have actually fought. Oh, God, she fought, dude.
I know.
A female UFC fighter should have that job. She's just annoying. It's obvious she is trying hard and doesn't know what she's talking about. Oof.
And then let me go here to Laura's response.
I hope Laura lit him up.
Oh, yeah. In the nicest way that she could.
You and I actually found, because he didn't know she was a fighter.
Yeah.
You and I actually found the same card, moron, in 2011.
She didn't say more.
For Titan FC. We warmed up next to each other in the basement of the Memorial Hall building, Kansas City. My best friend braided your hair because you couldn't find anyone to do it. I remember thinking how cool it was at the time to be on a card with you. I had followed your career in the WC and was a little starstruck, to be honest. It's okay that you don't like my commentary, but respectfully, I've been part of this game and training since 2006. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and while I can't compare my career to yours, I have in fact fought. And if the UFC had a 105 division, I would have fought a lot longer. Gagoosh.
Without a doubt. Mic drop.
I assume Jamie Varner just like
I haven't heard something from him
disappears
since.
like the Homer Simpson meme.
In the bushes.
What I don't get why people I don't get it. Like, does Jamie Varner want attention? Like, clearly Laura Sanko is one of the very best. The very, very best.
Yeah, out of nowhere. It was like unsolicited.
He's also we haven't heard from Muscle. When's the last time we heard him like even say something about the UFC?
Yeah.
He just shitted on Laura Sanko. Also, if you're gonna shit on someone, you gotta do your research, man. You just look like a tool.
Yeah. Same card. She was on with them.
Dana White announced what's coming from Saudi Arabia. And you know, we go to the Middle East, the cards are big. And this is what he had to say.
What's up, guys? Here with another announcement. On Saturday, June 22nd, we'll be going to Saudi Arabia. Our first fight in the kingdom will be a fight night that will air live and free on ABC. And the main event will be former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker versus 13-0 undefeated Khamzat Chimaev to see who will be the #1 contender for the UFC middleweight championship.
Khamzat Chimaev fights Robert Whittaker in the main event. I know we're going to talk a ton about Chimaev and what it means to those guys as it goes forward. But my first question to you is, how tough is Robert Whittaker, bro? He fights everybody.
Hey, Daniel, I am so impressed. I mean, historically speaking, it's kind of hard to get Whittaker to agree to fights. He just does big fights. He's used to main events. He's used to world title fights. Everything's almost a downgrade. He's a hard guy to book. He just got out of a war with Paulo Costa. I thought that was enough to be #1 contender. I could say the same compliments about Chimaev. He just got out of a war with Kamaru Usman. I thought that was enough to be #1 contender. Now, I'm not arguing that. I'm speaking to how tough this division and how deep it is, and the guys and the participants are aware of that. So you got two guys with great arguments to #1 contenders, but nothing else to do. They come and find each other. They're doing it on ABC. Come on, this is as big as it gets. This is the announcement, and frankly, I knew this is where the UFC and Dana was trying to get. I wasn't overly confident they could get there. This is a very hard booking, and it's a fairly quick turnaround by Whittaker standards.
But the Khamzat Chimaev fight, to me, it's massive in two regards, because it finally feels like Chimaev is knocking on the doorstep of, or standing on the doorstep of a championship opportunity. For a long time, we thought that Khamzat Chimaev would become a guy that would fight for the UFC championship. He just seemed destined for it. Then he beats Kamaru Usman. Granted, Kamaru's up. It's on short notice. It's very competitive. He wasn't as dominant as you thought, but you knew he wouldn't be because Kamaru was that good. And now he gets Robert Whittaker back-to-back. There could be no denying that he should fight for the championship next. But this fight tells me two things. It tells me, one, these two are going to fight in Saudi Arabia to decide who gets the championship opportunity. It tells me, two, that the next fight for the middleweight champion, Dricus du Plessis, is already done. They know it's Israel Adesanya. Because if you didn't know it was Israel Adesanya, you would keep one of these two guys open to have the opportunity to give a guy a chance. I don't know what that means for Sean Strickland, but I really do feel like he might get pushed to the back now that they just booked that fight between those two.
All right, now they call you the good guy, but you were not the easily impressed guy. So that was very high praise that you just gave to this fight partner. I fully agree with you, but if we're going to play Let's Look at the Division, let me throw myself in here. I like the idea and the concept that whoever wins between Chimaev and Whittaker gets that due and gets their respect. It'd be a hard thing for me to imagine that you could motivate them for anything less than at least acknowledging that they're a number one contender. But partner, please hear this. I don't personally think there's a scenario where Whittaker versus Izzy for the belt happens again. To remind you, if it was to happen again, you would have two guys a little bit later in their careers. Oh, by the way, they're going to go do something for the third time that was not ultra competitive the first two. Now, when you do look at Duplessis surprises all when he beat Whittaker. I mean, that was a 3-1 spread favoring Whittaker. It was not supposed to happen. It was dominant by Duplessis, and there's always a way to do a rematch. However, things would be a little bit easier if Chimaev was to get that nod. We're hearing rumors of travel restrictions for Chimaev. Nobody's confirmed that, at least not that my ears have heard. I'm only suggesting for you, yes, this should be a number one contendership, but it does look as though the victor versus, right, we're going to have to play these matches out is what I'm saying. Who comes out of Duplessis and Izzy is going to matter. Who comes out of Whittaker versus Chimaev is going to matter.
Oh yeah, so this sucks, man. So Walt Harris has been going through some tough times, obviously.
Oh yeah, his daughter.
With his stepdaughter, I think. Well, murdered basically. So he has been suspended until 2027 because he tested.
This dude took the straight up Gold's Gym stack. Like it's not like some stuff. It's like.
And it's by the new, remember USADA left in 2024, and now the Combat Sports Anti-Doping, the new drug testing agency, is now aboard. And then they found out that in June 24th and July 12th and August 6th, he had like testosterone, gestanolone.
Yeah, he was taking the shit. That's a bummer.
So that must have been like, I don't know how they do this retroactively, but because that's before they joined. But yeah, so they had access to his test samples, and
damn, they went back and tested PP.
It seems like because they weren't part of it in June 24th, at least I don't think.
That'd be a shitty job.
Yeah.
Go back and test old PP. That stuff stinks, man. So
like literally stinks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's a bummer, man. Awful. So, dude, as a heavyweight, he's 40 years old.
Oh, it's over. No,
it is,
over.
right?
Yeah,
it's basically over.
It's game over. Yeah.
All right.
You'll probably see him in bare knuckle or some shit because he'd still be able to fight outside of the UFC.